Have you ever wondered how a simple line on the map can spark off international disputes? Let's dive into the beginning of the Nepal-India border dispute. Our story takes us back to the 1950s, an era marked by the rise of new nations and the fall of old empires. The Rana rulers of Nepal at the time sought to strengthen their ties with the newly independent India. Why, you may ask? Well, the answer lies in their fear of a potential communist overthrow, backed by none other than the mighty China. This fear prompted them to foster a close relationship with their southern neighbor, India. This initial alliance, however, set the stage for an unexpected future. Little did they know that their camaraderie would eventually give way to territorial disagreements. As the decades passed, this fear of encroachment led to the first significant border disputes between India and Nepal. Fast forward to recent years, and the border dispute has significantly escalated. The tension between Nepal and India, two nations sharing an extensive border of over 1,850 kilometers, has been simmering for decades. But the heat turned up in the months leading to June 18, 2020. In the background, the gears of politics and diplomacy were churning. Nepal was preparing to make a bold move, a move that would shake the very foundations of its relationship with its larger neighbor, India. The Council of Ministers, led by Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda, was about to redraw the country's political map. This new map would incorporate three territories of significant strategic importance: Lipulekh, Kalapani, and Limpiadhura. Understandably, this decision was not taken lightly. Cabinet meetings were held on April 25th and May 2nd, where the proposal was thoroughly discussed and ultimately approved. It was a clear statement from the Nepalese government. They were ready to stake their claim on these territories. India, however, was not about to sit idle as its neighbor made what it considered an audacious move. The Indian government reacted sharply, calling Nepal's actions a unilateral act. They termed the artificial enlargement of territorial claims by Nepal as untenable. In the eyes of India, Lipulekh, Kalapani, and Limpiadhura belonged to them, and Nepal's actions were seen as a direct challenge to their sovereignty. This political maneuver by Nepal, and the subsequent reaction from India, marked a significant escalation in the border dispute. It was a move that would have far-reaching implications not just on the diplomatic front, but also in the lives of ordinary people residing in these areas. And it was this update to the map that led to the latest development in this ongoing dispute. The tension was palpable, the stakes were high, and the stage was set for the next act in this intricate dance of diplomacy and national pride. Now let's turn our attention to a seemingly mundane object that's become a symbol of this dispute: the 100 rupee note. In an unanticipated turn of events, the government of Nepal decided to give their 100 rupee note a little facelift. This wasn't your average design upgrade, though. The cabinet, led by Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda, approved a new map to be printed on the note. A map that included the contentious territories of Lipulekh, Limpiadhura, and Kalapani. This decision was far from arbitrary. It was a reflection of Nepal's stance on the border dispute, a bold statement made on the canvas of a banknote. The government spokesperson Rekha Sharma, who also serves as the Minister for Information and Communication, confirmed the cabinet's decision, which was taken during meetings held in late April and early May. But this wasn't just about a banknote. On June 18, 2020, Nepal went a step further, updating the country's political map to incorporate these three strategically important areas. This amendment to the constitution was seen as a unilateral act by India, leading to a sharp reaction. India termed this move as an artificial enlargement of Nepal's territorial claims, labeling them as untenable. Despite this, the redesigned 100 rupee note rolled off the presses. It was more than just a piece of paper. It was a symbol of Nepal's resolve, a tangible representation of their territorial claims. Every time a Nepali citizen looked at the note, they saw a map that included Lipulekh, Limpiadhura, and Kalapani as part of their country. Every transaction became a reminder of the ongoing dispute. India, on the other hand, viewed this redesign as a provocative move. They maintained that Lipulekh, Kalapani, and Limpiadhura belonged to them, and this new note was seen as an audacious challenge to their claim. So what might seem like a simple redesign of a banknote actually carries a lot of political weight. Indeed, In the world of geopolitics, even the seemingly mundane can become a symbol of national identity and territorial claims. So, where does this leave us now? And what could be the future implications of this ongoing dispute? The current state of the dispute is a complex tangle of history, politics, and national pride. The new 100 rupee note featuring the disputed territories has sparked a fresh wave of tension between India and Nepal, adding another layer to a dispute that has been simmering for decades. The relationship between the two nations, once amicable and cooperative, has become increasingly strained. The decision by Nepal to include the disputed territories on its currency is seen by some as a bold assertion of sovereignty, while others view it as a provocative act that could further escalate tensions. The potential impact on the relation between India and Nepal is significant. Both countries share a border of over 1,850 kilometers and have deep cultural, economic, and political ties. An unresolved border dispute could strain these relationships, impacting everything from trade to tourism, and may even have implications for regional stability. Discussing possible solutions to this issue is challenging. The territories in question are strategically important and hold symbolic value for both nations. Resolving the dispute will require a delicate balance of diplomacy, negotiation, and mutual respect. It's a task that will need to be approached with patience, understanding, and a commitment to peaceful resolution. However, the path to resolution is fraught with challenges. National pride and historical claims can make compromise difficult. The recent redesign of the 100 rupee note indicates that Nepal is not ready to back down, and India's sharp reaction suggests that it is equally unwilling to cede ground. While the future remains uncertain, one thing is clear: the resolution of this dispute will have far-reaching implications for both India and Nepal. It's not just about a line on a map or a design on a banknote. It's about national identity, sovereignty, and the delicate balance of power in a region where even the smallest spark can ignite a flame. The hope is that diplomacy and dialogue will prevail, ensuring a peaceful resolution that respects the rights and aspirations of both nations.